What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 24 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we're going to be going over Team of the Week predictions for weeks 11 and 12. Remember, they're going to be coming out together tomorrow afternoon. Now, before we go ahead and jump into that, let's take a look at the expected OVR. So they left off at week 11, or I'm sorry, week 10. Remember, there was a small break there because of the week of Thanksgiving, and we were at 91 OVRs there, with the previous heroes being Dak and Sheldon Rankins. Now, we do have a few 93s out there, but I'm pretty confident that the champions and the LTDs from the Team of the Weeks 11 and 12 will be at 92 OVR, so there's not really a great way to pre-build any of those cards. And let's be honest, with Team of the Week this year, they just haven't been worth it for the most part. A lot of the cards have been underwhelming, but we do have some pretty good names in the predictions. Now, I'm not going to go fully through the week 11 predictions because it's kind of old news at this point, but let me run through a few names that likely should and could get cards. We start off with Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver from the 49ers. He had, I think, well over 100 receiving yards in week 11 and a touchdown. My favorite guy in the world here that's not an Eagle right now, Bobby O'Carrot-Cake, just because I made up that name and I'm sticking with it there. He's had a fantastic season for the Giants and had a really good week 11. Rasul Douglas almost feels like a lock for week 11. He had 2 interceptions in that game. One of his very first games as a Buffalo Bill. He came over in the trade deadline from the Giants. From the Packers. He's going to have a lot of theme teams on him, including the Eagles, of course, if he gets a card. And then Jalen Ramsey, which I think they give it to Sewell because Ramsey had the season 1 card and he's a bigger name, and they'll likely save him for like the Zero Chill promo or just in general a bigger promo. But in week 11, Jalen Ramsey also had 2 interceptions. Let's move on to week 12, the most recent week. No quarterbacks to know in either week, so we'll see what happens there. And running back, we had Kyron Williams, who just recently got an 88 OVR. And we had a lot of players that kind of are in that boat where they have an 88. And, you know, obviously a 92 would be considered an upgrade. But does EA make the move? We got to give him props regardless if he gets one or not, because he had 143 rushing yards, no touchdowns, but also 61 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. So he had a really, really good week 12 for the Rams. I think the running back that should get it, and even though he didn't have as good of a week, he's more needing of an upgrade, is going to be Jonathan Taylor. He still has that 84 overall core elite card. He had 91 rushing yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns for the Colts in their win. A pair of wide receivers that already have 88s but had really good week 12s, and we start with Rasheed Rice, who actually already had a Team of the Week card as well. It was a preseason Team of the Week, and the reason I feel like one of these two could and definitely will happen is because we saw with like Mike Evans and Robert Spillane recently both already having a high OVR Team of the Week card and then getting a second Team of the Week card. So Rasheed Rice is one of them. He had 8 catches for 107 yards and 1 touchdown, and Devontae Smith is going to be the other there, who also has an 88 but a non-Team of the Week. In week 12, Devontae had 7 catches for 106 yards and 1 touchdown, and just a huge second half and overtime to help the Eagles win there. 2 receivers or pass catchers that had a really good week but didn't find the end zone. Michael Pittman, who's, if you look at his stats, I feel like he's super underrated. He gets a lot of receptions every single game, and in week 12 he had 10 catches for 107 yards but 0 TDs. Of course, they did get the W. If they give Jonathan Taylor that card, though, I don't see Michael Pittman getting one as well, because they're just too close in, you know, they're both on the offensive side of the ball and would be too close to OVR as well, but we got to give him props for his game. And then same thing with Pat Freiermuth, who had 9 catches for 120 yards, but he also did not find the end zone, 0 touchdowns. So those are the best offensive performances in week 12 for this season. On defense, this one feels like a stone cold lead pipe lock. It's Rashan Gary, who currently sits at an 82 overall core elite. He had 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 7 total tackles in that big Thanksgiving win over the Lions. Go Pack Go. Thankfully, for playoff seedings, I was rooting for them, and they got that W, so good job to them. Steelers fans, I hear you. TJ Watt, I know, I get it. Eagles fans are kind of in the same boat with Jalen Hurts. I still don't think they give Watt a Team of the Week card. The promo's just not big enough for a name like that. They got to be saving him for something better. With TJ Watt, 2 sacks and 2 sacks and 1 forced fumble in week 12, so we got to mention his name, but it feels like we mention his name every week and he doesn't get a card. EA will eventually give him an upgrade, I promise. Samson Ibakam, hopefully I got that one right there, still sitting with a core gold card. He also had 2 sacks and 1 forced fumble in week 12. And then yet another player who already had a team of the week card, a limited at that, is Jesse Bates. He filled up the stat sheet, so there's like no way I can't mention him. He is 6'1" with decent speed, didn't really get man coverage, good man coverage on this card, but really good zone, so unfortunately I don't know how good it's going to be as like a hybrid safety if he gets an upgrade, but I kind of feel like he should, right? Listen to this, 12 total tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, 1 touchdown. I mean, that's a hell of a performance for week 12, but being that he already has an 88, will EA give him an upgrade? I just don't know. Let's go over the LTDs. These are players who had a good week 12 performance in a previous year. We start with Mike White, just kind of random, right? But in 2022, 315 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. And I also throw him in the conversation because I haven't mentioned any quarterbacks yet. So there's going to be at least one between weeks 11 and week 12 between this season or an LTD. They're going to find us a way to give us at least one quarterback as one of the 92 OVRs. Brian Burns, 84 overall core elite currently, really good player. Can't say he's had a great year this year. Haven't really noticed. Panthers fans, forgive me if I'm wrong there, but I just haven't seen his name around too much, and obviously the team stinks really, really bad. But in 2022, he had 2.5 sacks and 1 forced fumble, so maybe he gets that LTD for that 2022 performance. Jalen Waddle, similar to TJ Watt in a sense that they both got upgrades from the Snickers promo, but they weren't like good upgrades. Jalen Waddle, 83 overall core elite currently. Back in 2021, he had 9 catches for 137 yards and 1 touchdown, so maybe that happens. And Deshaun Watson, always just kind of an interesting guess for this one because he didn't get an upgraded card last year. He just had a core elite, and we all kind of know why he didn't, right? And I thought maybe a year removed from that, EA would give him an upgrade. Well, he still hasn't got one. He still just has his core gold, and he's now out for the season again. So, you know, are they going to give him upgrades this year? I don't know. Back in 2020, he had 318 passing yards and 4 passing touchdowns in week 12. That would be a team of the week worthy performance in my opinion. And Antonio Gibson, another core gold player out here who could jump all the way up to a 92 with an LTD back in 2020. He had 115 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, and then gets us over to Angry Runs. So the week 11 confirmed Angry Runs winner, I believe, I did my research, I'm pretty sure they got t-shirts printed and everything for this guy, is Jalen Warren, who had a really good, like, Angry Runs, right? It's usually because they had a really angry run, but he actually had a really good week 11 performance. He filled up the stat sheet as well. So it should be a 91 OVR card, and as you can see, he already has a team of the week card as well. I couldn't find if they decided on a winner, but they did narrow it down to 3 players for week 12. The first one is his teammate Najee Harris, who already has an 89 overall Gridiron Guardians card, so hopefully they don't go that route with him because there's 2 other players that are more needing of an upgrade that are on that Angry Runs list. The next one is wide receiver Isaiah Hodgins for the New York Giants, and then the final one, which I think would probably be everybody's hope, is going to be Cordero Patterson, because he just always has a fun card to use in MUT, really good receiving back, and if they give him that plus, like, you know, good trucking and break tackle, it could be a really, really good card, and I think he gets a good amount of theme teams as well. So those are the week 12 Angry Runs finalists. I don't know if they decided on a winner or if that takes place tomorrow, but remember, with all of this team of the week content, it will be revealed tomorrow morning on GMM. They'll likely give us a teaser tonight on Twitter as well, and the content will be in game at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Let me know who I snubbed, who did I leave off the list down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching. My name is Popular Stranger, and I'm out. Peace.